Okay, welcome to podcast for our quiz, chapter 6.4 through 6.5. Quiz is scheduled. Check your study guide. Again, we changed that date, so double check your study guide for when our quiz is taking place. Again, you can go to My Big Campus for another copy of the study guide and also take that practice quiz as many times as possible. Reminder, do not just take it and memorize the answers. Make sure you take it and pay attention to the concepts that each question goes through. Those concepts are going to show up on the quiz for sure. Okay, so we're going to start with the solar system models box first. So take a look here, find the box, top left-hand corner of your study guide. Heliocentric model gained support when Galileo, should certainly be someone that you have heard of before, observed what? And he observed, obviously, that Venus goes through phases similar to our moon. So he, rightly so, was able to prove that, well, if our moon looks the same as what Venus does, then there has to be a reason for that. And, of course, it's the fact that it revolves around the sun. In order for that to happen, that's what would have needed to take place. So, second question here. Earth revolves around, if you look here in the center of this model, you can see that is the sun. So as we take a look here at our two models, we've got heliocentric and we have geocentric. Heliocentric is when the sun is in the center of our solar system. Okay, next one here, still on solar system models. Planets revolve around the sun in a, same thing, just as we had on the previous slide, that picture, that's going to be the heliocentric. What is a piece of rock or metal moving in space called? That's going to be meteoroid. That's a review from previous. Remember the oid? We're going to match up with outer. It's in outer space. Next one, the blank solar system places Earth at the center of the solar system. So the geocentric system places, if you look here, places Earth in the middle. So obviously that's a difference and of course is incorrect as to the setup of our solar system. So as you look at that, that should obviously kind of throw up a flag as to how it really works. Okay, finishing up solar system models here. Ancient astronomers believed celestial objects revolved around Earth, as you saw in that previous graphic. And finally, the heliocentric system is considered to be the correct system. And again, heliocentric is where the sun is in the middle. Finishing up solar system models there, you should have that box filled in. Moving to classifying objects. Small asteroid-like bodies that become the building blocks for planets are, and that's going to be a planetesimal. And I think the easiest way to remember the building block, you can see the word planet inside of that. So you have a planetesimal, which is a building block for a planet. Meteoroids typically come from comets or asteroids, typically pieces that have broken off. And as you heard here recently in the news, there was an increase of meteorites. We even had the one hit in Russia. And as we had an asteroid pass nearby, and as they get closer to the sun, they're going to have more parts fly off as the energy from the sun interacts with them. So we also had an increase in that at that time. Closest star to us is the sun, and asteroids typically orbit the sun. So that's one way to tell and classify actually an asteroid. This next and basically final screen here, we have the characteristics of these items. You do not need to memorize them. These will be on the quiz. So you do not need to memorize the characteristics of an asteroid, a comet, a dwarf planet, etc. But you can certainly write them on your study guide. You can become familiar with them, understand some differences, take a look at them. Some of them, depending on what they orbit, helps. Whether they're round or irregular, what are they made out of? These are all differences. Where are they at? And again, don't memorize this page by all means, but write it down and become familiar with it. Okay, pages in the book to help you are going to be Chapter 7, pages 226 to 229, and 231 to 235. As you can see, there's not a whole lot in the book here that's going to help as far as doing some practice, but there's a couple things here. Finally, just as a reminder, make sure you go to my big campus for another copy of the study guide and practice quiz.